The John Wilkins Show is brought to you by Permian Tractor Sales Incorporated, Precision Pump and Compressor, Bill Ray Insurance Associates Incorporated, Bill Sears Supermarkets, Zool Ford Incorporated, Southwest Energy Distributors, Stockton Packer, Swindle Welding and Equipment, Texway Construction Company Incorporated, Clint Wright, Tilly Weaver Agency, Trip Petroleum, Waddell and Blank Insurance Agency, White Travel Service, Sanderson Forklift Company, 3714 County Road West, Interfirst Bank, Odessa, Odessa Ready Mix Concrete Company, and State National Bank, Financial Center of Odessa.
Well, we go to the last part of the ball game. It seems like it does this every year, where there's one more classic drive, and with Permian leading 14-10, we'll go to the highlights and let Coach Wilkins tell you about what's going through his mind. Probably praying a lot.
We're just trying to hold on here, of course. It's a little old belly play that they've run before, and we're doing a great catch over the side, and they get a first down. We're to hang on, don't let them have the long ball this type of thing, and we're trying to put some pressure on him, trying to get to him. We thought we were going to get to him right here, but right, he gets away, and it makes a great catch right there. Cal Hendricks made a great catch and a great throw. And I didn't know for sure he caught it, but he did. And, they're down in our end of the field. Golly, I don't know how much time.
I got you.
Or maybe a little bit more than a minute at this time.
Did you expect Colin to come in for that last play, or?
Well, of course, I called time out, and Coach Hollings had up in the press box, said that Boyd was coming in the ball game and, look for the long ball, this type of thing. But, again, that's looking for us. That was a big play for us. If they had, it was a third and short right there, and now they don't have to go for it. This is Boyd, of course, Boyd coming in, and he delivers. That was a pretty good ball, really, just off the tip end of Taylor's fingers, and Stacy Merritt, youngster, played in the place of Bazell. Makes a great intercept, and of course we now have the ball game under control.
The rest is history. Let's talk about maybe, of course, maybe you do know by now, fans out there, that you'll play Lubbock, Monterey, and I guess you should know about, people are always like, hey, is Hagen going to be still well for the next game, and how is Bazell going to be?
We don't know yet, really, at the present time, John. Brent is pretty sore. His hip is still bothering him some. He has a sore thigh. He has a thigh bruise, and it's pretty sore, pretty tender at this time. Eddie's foot is getting better, but I don't know that, he couldn't play starting today, so we're just going to have to wait and see on both those youngsters and see how they come along, and hopefully both of them, because we're going to need both of them against Monterey, and hopefully they'll be ready to play Saturday night in Jones Stadium against Lubbock, Monterey.
Coach, so the game was probably a lot closer than you really wanted it to be, but one good thing that can come out of a close game, and especially heading into the playoffs, is the fact that the team now knows they have the ability to come back, and definitely under halfway hostile circumstances, so that's got to be, something good out of it.
Well, I think so. Under every cloud is a silver lining, so to speak. And I think you mentioned a very good point there, because our youngsters, we had not been going into the fourth quarter this year, being behind or really being tested. Of course, obviously, we were behind going into the fourth quarter this year against Odessa High. I think this is a very definite plus for our football team, is to have that ability, or, have it going into the playoffs, that we know, hey, if something bad does happen, we do have the ability to come back and survive and still win the football game. And because it's going to happen to you sometimes in the playoffs, and you're going to have some bad things happen to you during the course of the year. I was very proud of our football team, because we did beat a good football team last night on Friday night in Odessa High. They've had a great season. I know they're disappointed that they didn't make the playoffs, but it was one of those kind of situations, and we're just happy that we did, and of course that's the main thing as far as we're concerned.
I know you've got to be happy you didn't have to be involved in that hectic coin toss situation, but it still was exciting. I think that every game now probably will come right down to the last game of the season.
Well, I've been in favor of this rule originated several years ago when I was on the board of directors, and I was in favor at that time. And it took a process of time for it to get passed, but it is now, of course, as we know now, the rule. And I'm still in favor. Right now I'd say, well, I'd like for only the first place team to go. But, realistically, there's going to be years, and there have been years, of course, that we finished second, and we would like to have had the rule back then, too.
Okay, we'll end up with a final question on Lubbock, Monterey. If you want to gauge it on anything, they played Midland Midland shut them out for 3 quarters, just 3-0 before Monterey came on. Tell us what to look for in that ball game.
Monterey's a very good defensive football team. They've been plagued by injuries since about the middle of the year. They've had the tailbacks been hurt. Some of their offensive linemen have been hurt. This has really hurt their offensive production. Defensively, they're probably as good as anybody we've played, including Odessa have. They're big and they're strong. They have great linebackers that run the football real well. Offensive, like I said, they've been hurt by injuries, and they don't have a whole lot of speed because their tailback has been hurt. But I understand he did play last night or Friday night against Toledo, and so we expect him to be in the lineup against us Saturday night. This extra day, of course, is going to help some of their youngsters that they've had hurt to get back in the lineup. And like I said, they're 8-1. They've only lost one district game, and that was one game during the course of the year, and that was to Plainview, the district champion. So they've got a good football team. They're going to be a worthy opponent, to say the least, and we're going to have our hands cut, our work cut out for us come Saturday night in Jones Stadium.
Great. We'll talk more about Monterey and the season as a whole after this.
Okay.
The John Wilkins Show is brought to you by Permian Tractor Sales Incorporated, Precision Pump and Compressor, Bill Ray Insurance Associates Incorporated, Bill Sears Supermarkets, Sewell Ford Incorporated, Southwest Energy Distributors, Stockton Packer, Swindle Welding and Equipment, Texway Construction Company Incorporated, Clint Wright, Tilly Weaver Agency, Trip Petroleum, Waddell and Blank Insurance Agency, White Travel Service, Sanderson Forklift Company, 3714 County Road West, Interfirst Bank, Odessa, Odessa Ready Mix Concrete Company, and State National Bank, Financial Center of Odessa.